I'm here in the urban core where researchers say women with breast cancer are 4 times more likely to be at stage 4 when they're diagnosed. The urban core also has the highest population of people living under the poverty line in Jacksonville.
Surveillance cameras in our schools have helped solve crimes and even put school employees in jail. But our investigation found some of the cameras meant to keep your children safe are broken. I uncovered more than 100 surveillance cameras in St. Johns County schools alone are broken. That's 6% of the district's cameras.
Let's say this is what the untreated water looks like. JEA says as part of this pilot program, they'll use 2 leading technologies to filter this water into something you can drink.
Just look at this white Nissan we found. I counted 3 dozen bullet holes in the windshield and all along the driver's side of the car. Neighbors tell me no one stays in this house it's parked in front of, but this car was running last night. Walk with me over here. I want to show you what we spotted on the other side of the car. This smear of blood right under the passenger side door.
The department also purchased new cameras to go along with those upgraded tasers, giving officers multiple layers of transparency, including a perspective from the dash cam, a view from their body cameras, and the footage recorded right here on the taser.
It all deals with safety and transparency. We're just out there to assist the public, make sure they're safe, and make sure our officers are safe on the street.
Animal control officials still on the scene right now. They've been out here since about 6 o'clock. We're actually in the middle of the cages in the backyard of the home that was seized. And if you look over here, it's dark, but if you swing the light around, you can see the animal control officials actually grabbing some of those seized chickens out of the cages right now. We're told that right now we don't know the extent of any of the birds that were seized, but we're told all of them were found alive and they will be examined tomorrow. But if we swing the camera around, it's dark, but the light will pick it up. You see the intricacy of this alleged cockfighting ring, all of the cages where these birds were stowed. We are still working to find out whether or not the fights actually happened on this property off of New Kings Road, or if this was more of a training ground. You see just all of these cages as these birds, they are being saved.
And if you look, you can see my photographer, Rob Bourne, actually out there with one of his high-powered flashlights trying to highlight the surf that we're seeing. Very intense waves out there right now.
One of the 6 confirmed local tornadoes Irma produced touched down in Crescent Beach. The First Alert weather team was on the air, giving out life-saving warnings.
In the middle of the night, we were tracking on First Alert Doppler HD a strong thunderstorm moving in off the Atlantic at nearly 60 miles per hour, which eventually produced an EF2 tornado, destroying multiple condos.
Is this the Jacksonville townhouse? Yes.
You can hear the man who lived in this now charred unit coughing as he talks to 911. The state fire marshal's report says he was asleep on the sofa when he was awakened by the smell of smoke and saw his air conditioner was on fire.
I was fired from AC fire. Air condition make fire. I covered this my blanket.
The report says he also pulled the electric cord out of the wall outlet. You can hear him on the phone with 911 as he knocks on his neighbors' doors to wake them up.
Oh my God.
That Jacksonville couple tells me they had no idea the man they picked up in their rideshare was wanted for murder. So you can imagine their surprise when the SWAT team rammed their car here on I-295 to arrest him. The maneuver totaled their car, but the city says it doesn't owe them a dime. Our investigation found hundreds of people the city did pay out, including people on the sheriff's office payroll. Tanamia Cara Curry and her husband picked up a rider they'll never forget. They had no idea they were being followed by the JSO SWAT team until an unmarked truck cut them off.
He pulled in the front and he slammed on his brakes. We slammed and we kind of tapped the front. The next thing I know, boom, from the back, lights came on. And they said, gotta go. I was like, oh my God, we finna die.
Curry says JSO ordered their passenger out of the car and slammed him to the ground. That's when an officer asked her,
did you know you was riding with a wanted murderer? I said, excuse me?
The man they picked up was Demetrius Brown, accused of shooting a man to death at a Georgia auto shop.
First of all, you put me in danger because you let him get in my car. That's first.
This is where Curry's husband spends most of his time now. He says he hurt his knee during the scuffle, and since their car was declared a total loss, he can't drive to earn a living. The couple says insurance paid them $4,000, but they owe thousands more on their loan, so they can't buy another car. They filed a claim with the city and got back this rejection letter. It says the city did not find any negligence and isn't liable because there was an emergency situation requiring swift action to prevent imminent danger.
I'm not telling you that you're negligent. I just want somebody to take responsibility. Somebody help me.
Action News Jax looked through 3 years of city data and found half the people who filed claims against the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office get the city to pay up to the tune of about $2.5 million in settled claims. Mrs. Curry wasn't one of them. But look who was. JSO spokesperson Melissa Bujetta got nearly $3,500 when JSO hit her personal car in the agency parking lot. And former Jaguars player turned JSO officer Ernest Wilford got more than $2,000 when he backed into his personal car on the way to work.
What? How can you, what?
I can assure you that a lot of minds and experts are reviewing this stuff.
City of Jacksonville General Counsel Jason Gabriel tells me a big factor is whether the city would lose if a claim winds up in court.
What would you say to people who ask, well, hey, why are their claims getting paid out but not mine? Why not me?
Once again, I mean, we take everything into consideration. We believe that, that everything we do ultimately is weighed by what's best for the taxpayer.
If your claim gets rejected, you can request a manager review. If you're denied again, you can take it to court.
The civil rights lawyer that I went to said that it will cost more to take this to court than what we would win.
In the meantime, some taxpayers like Curry and her husband are left paying the bill and taking the bus. We see numbers every day. Some of them connect us to loved ones. Some of them keep us safe. But these numbers,
I have A5674.
They mean Ella Rogozinski survived. She was 17 when she arrived at Auschwitz.
We told them, could you tell us where we can find our parents? We came a couple days ago. So one of the German ladies says, see over there that smoke there? We didn't understand. It took about a whole week till we realized that what the parents are. They were in the gas chamber.
After Ella Rogozinski was liberated from the concentration camp, she worked here at Underwood's Jewelers for nearly 50 years. Take a look in here. You can see they still have her workbench, even her seat cushion. So it only was fitting that this is where the next piece of her legacy was created.
A5674. This is the very first one. This is the one that Underwood's helped me create.
This is Ella Rogozinski's granddaughter, Dana Rogozinski. She founded a line of Holocaust remembrance jewelry and named it after her grandmother and grandfather, who was also a concentration camp survivor. A portion of sales from the Jacob and Ella Legacy Collection goes to Holocaust education and scholarships.
I want these people to ask the question, and it is an uncomfortable conversation to have. And when someone asks you at the grocery store, what is that number? It's like, oh, it's heavy, but I feel like it's important to tell.
Ella Rogozinski used to travel to schools and churches telling her story.
I hope that you learned something from that war. There is still so much hate.
She made a big impression on Catholic priest Father James O'Neill, who now wears Ella and Jacob Rogozinski's numbers around his neck.
If we don't learn from the past, we might have to repeat the past in the future, and this would not be a good thing at all.
But now dementia has stolen her ability to share her story.
And it was at that point, really, that I felt something needs to be done.
As tattoos and memories fade, it's up to Dana Rogozinski's generation to prevent this from becoming just a series of numbers. Reporting, Jenna Bourne, CBS 47, Action News Jax.